and stuff like that.
Oh, okay. That's great.
So I was just trying to see what exactly is Alteryx, and I wanted to see if I can add this into my profile.
Okay. Got it. Got it. So, what about Agilesh? Hi, Agilesh. Are you there? I think Agilesh, if you are talking, you are on mute. Sorry. Okay, no problem. Give me a second. Okay. You are able to see my screen, right?
Hello.
Uh, yeah. Hi, Agilesh. Yeah. Go on.
Oh, sorry. I'm not sure. Like from my laptop, the voice is not audible to you guys. So,
Yeah, yeah. We can hear you. Please go on.
so what was your question? Like, yeah. I am an experienced one. Currently, I'm working in PwC organization,
Okay.
and from Alteryx, like I have been working around last 2 years. So need to upskill in, like I need to learn more on this tool, like more on the advanced level. I know the things from the preparations and all those things, but need to learn on the advanced side.
Okay.
Um, like currently, I am having 3.5 or 4 years, so need to switch. That's why I need to upskilling more in this.
Okay. Got it. So you have a kind of an intermediate experience in Alteryx.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah, sure. Okay. So let's get started. Yeah. Thanks, Agilesh.
Yeah.
Okay. So I have 7 years of experience, overall experience as a Alteryx developer. So I have started my career with EY and Deloitte. Currently, I'm working with Amazon as a data analytics engineer. So I am an Alteryx Design Advanced certified trainer. Also, I hold certification in Designer Core as well. And I have delivered multiple data analytics and data automation, process automation projects based on Alteryx. Have also been into this training for more than 5 years. So I have trained a lot of Alteryx professionals and also helped them to prepare and crack the Alteryx designer exams as well. So that's all about me. So let's see what all things we have today. So first, I will give you a walkthrough through Alteryx. What exactly is Alteryx? What makes Alteryx unique from other ETL tools in the market? And also, we will see what all opportunities we have in the market for the Alteryx developers. Then I'll be walking through the course outline, what all topics we'll be covering throughout our course. Then we'll be going through the different certifications available for Alteryx. Then today we'll be building a sample workflow, which will give you an idea or overview how the Alteryx interface will look like and how you can build a sample workflow. So these are the items which we have in the bucket for today. Okay, so I have a question like, till now, do you have any doubts? Fine, right? Shall we move on?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Okay. So Alteryx is basically an ETL tool. Okay. And what is Alteryx means? Alteryx started as a tool for performing data cleansing, data transformation on geospatial data. So the origin of Alteryx is in 1997. Later, they have actually revamped this so that they can use it for a generic purpose. So that was the evolution of Alteryx. So coming to Alteryx, Alteryx is basically a tool that help you to perform analytical automation steps. Okay, so analytical automation in the sense, if you have some kind of data activities, like you have your data in your cloud or in your system, or if you have the data as a flat files, right? You can extract the data, you can perform the data cleansing, data transformation, and finally you can make that data in a format which will be useful for your data visualization, or even you can use the data to create your final reports. So that's the main use of Alteryx. It can perform ETL activities. But we do have other tools in the market which can do the ETL, right? Then why we need to use Alteryx, or what is the specialty of Alteryx? What makes it unique from other tools? So that is the no code, low code platform. When I say no code, low code platform, right? You already knew about Python, right? Anyone of you already used Python in your day-to-day works? Are you currently utilizing Python for data activities?
No, I haven't.
Okay, fine. So as you know, Python have libraries like pandas, numpy, right? Which you can use to perform the data transformation activities. You can use numpy and panda for polishing your data, for cleaning your data, for transforming your data. But what is the hard thing in that? You need to code, right? To make all those things happen, you need to code. But when it comes to Alteryx, there is no coding, I can say. Everything is actually in the form of tools. So you can actually get close to 230 plus tools which will have different kinds of functions. Okay. And you can actually connect these tools so that you can build a flow that is called a workflow in Alteryx. So what it will do is, when you load your data, you have a set of tools which you will be connecting together to create a function. So I mean a data process. So once you run this flow, what happens is each tool performs a certain action on your data, and your data will get transformed and you will get a desired form of your data. So that's how the Alteryx works. Everything here is actually a tool. As I told earlier, you can use the data to extract, you can use the Alteryx to extract your data, and you can transform your data where you will change the data layout, data format. You may be building a new columns, or you may be altering an existing columns. You can even aggregate your data. And finally, you will get a cleansed or a transformed data, which you can use to build visuals. And even you can use that data to create various reports. Alteryx also provides a visualization, but to a certain extent only. So mainly Alteryx is used as a tool to transform and cleanse the data. And you can create a automation using Alteryx. So that's a small overview of Alteryx. This is fine, right? You got a flavor of Alteryx. Any questions?
No.
Okay. So let's see what makes Alteryx unique. So one thing is like Alteryx have everything as tools, right? So suppose if you want to filter a certain values from Alteryx or from your data using Alteryx, you have something called filter tool. Okay. So in Excel, I think most of you have already experts of Excel, right? So in Excel, if you see you have tools or you have features or options like filter, sort, right? Similarly, in Alteryx also, you have these functions, but it will be a tool functionality in Alteryx. So you have this filter tool and sort tool, formula tool, you can create formulas. So everything is actually tools. So if you have a background of Alteryx, it's very easy to learn Alteryx because we have a clear-cut analogy in Alteryx and Excel. You can easily relate and learn these tools in Alteryx. So that's one advantage. It's very easy and you can learn it very easily. Next is the automation process. So when it comes to automation, how this workflow is helping us to automate, right? So that is why we use Alteryx for analytical process automation. So when you have a data process, right, what we usually do, we actually performs each steps in detail, right? But using Alteryx, you can actually build a workflow where you will define your data process by creating a workflow. So we will be first taking each tools according to our data process, and we will connect it, and we will configure it, and we will test it. That's how we build a sustainable workflow. And this workflow is actually your automation solution. So when you get the same kind of data next day, right, you will not create this process from the scratch. Instead, you will be simply changing your input. So automatically that process will happen and you will get your outputs. So that's how the automation happens within Alteryx. So when it comes to next point, that is transparency. Let's see a case where you are building a workflow, right? And if you get some kind of errors, you can get some errors because of your issues in the data or because of some configurational errors in Alteryx. Alteryx can show you the exact error. So the error debugging is very easy in Alteryx. Why? Because we have a dedicated error popping window, or you can call it as like you will have a results window. Whenever you have an error, right, it will point out you, okay, you have a certain error in this tool. Or Alteryx can easily point out you what exactly is the error. So you can easily debug the error and you can fix these issues. So troubleshooting is very easy in Alteryx. And next thing is like you can actually see your data throughout the process. So that's the transparency. It's available in Alteryx. For example, when you load a data, you can see what are the different columns or what are the data types, what all different kind of columns are present in the data. The next thing is like whenever you apply different tools, right, each tool performs an action on your data. So that change you can view throughout your flow. So you can understand how your data is getting evolved throughout the process. So that's the transparency available in Alteryx. Coming to the next thing, that is multi-system connectivity. Alteryx supports various wide variety of data sources. Your data can be from the SQL databases like Oracle or MS SQL. Even your data can be from the cloud system. We have different kind of cloud system, right? Like AWS. So you can actually pull the data from various kinds of cloud data sources. Or you can even use the flat files from your system like CSV, Excel files. So it can support wide variety of data sources. So that's how Alteryx is differing from other ETL tools in the market. Now coming to the opportunities. So mainly the trend which I am observing on Alteryx is most of the financial firms like big four consulting firms or even banks, like you can say you have this JP Morgan and Wells Fargo. So mainly the companies which is working on financial sectors are using Alteryx. So we have a lot of opportunities there, mainly in big four firms. So they look for the guys who knows two kinds of skill set. So one is, as I said, Alteryx. And the other thing is the domain knowledge. If you have a combination of both, it's well and good. So to give my example, right? So as I told earlier, I have started my career with EY. There I was actually working or supporting the audit analytics automation projects. So I have a background in audit as well. So it helped me a lot to fit into that position. And later on, I moved into Deloitte, and there I am actually working on tax automation. So from there, I came to know and I got an opportunity to learn more about taxes. So currently, here I am actually supporting my team to build automation in tax space. Then I moved into Amazon. So Amazon also I am actually supporting more into taxation and tax automation process. So what I can say is merely don't look for an Alteryx skill, but apart from that, you should also have a domain knowledge that can help you to understand the actual process, and then you can build automation solution in that space. I hope this makes sense, right? So these are the other companies like MNCs which is utilizing Alteryx apart from the financial or consulting firms. So the opportunities are there, but the thing is like we should try to understand the responsibilities of the job description accordingly. We need to polish our other skills as well. I mean the domain knowledge as well. So it will help you to crack the interview as well. Yep. So that's about Alteryx. Now coming to the course outline. So we will be covering the entire course in 1 month span. So the total duration will be around 20 to 25 hours, and we'll be splitting this into 4 weeks. So in the first 2 weeks, we'll be covering the core concepts. Later, we'll be moving to advanced concepts. So let's deep dive and see what all different topics we'll be covering in week 1 and week 2. So in first 2 weeks, we'll be moving into Alteryx core concepts, like how the Alteryx designer will work, what is the different windows available in Alteryx, what are the different kinds of windows. I mean, in Alteryx, we have multiple windows which help us to build the workflow. Then we'll be moving on to reading the data, how you can read various input data. Then we'll be looking into various kinds of data types in Alteryx. Then we will be moving to data profiling, how to view the data, how you can perform a data health checkup using the browse tool. Then we will be learning how you can write the data into your system, like different outputs, how you can generate like CSV outputs, Excel outputs. Next, we'll be moving on to data preparation. So data preparation have different kinds of steps. First, we'll be learning how you can clean your data. So the data cleansing we'll be learning here, how to use different tools which comes under data preparation, like how to use a filter tool, formula tool, sample tool, select tools, all these kinds of data preparation tool we'll be covering. Also, we'll be going through the data blending. So data blending means how you can combine your data. So you will be learning how you can perform the join, various kinds of joins, union, how you can perform a find and replace action. So find and replace is similar to the VLOOKUP that you are familiar in Excel. And in week 2 also, we'll be covering the remaining core concepts like how you can perform a data parsing. So I have a quick question here. Are you familiar with this term data parsing?
No, actually.
Okay, so parsing it means actually the splitting, how you can split the data. So we'll be having a scenario where you will get a data, right? And you want to split the data into multiple files based on a condition. So that also we learn here. Okay. Next thing is like data transformation, how you can change the layout of your data. Suppose you might be having a lengthy data. You may need to change the layout of your data in case of a usability. So we learn how you can perform that cross tab action, how you can aggregate the data. That's an important step, aggregation. So these kinds of things we'll be learning in the week 2 core concepts. Okay. Then we also learn how you can write a conditional statement, because conditional statements are something very important when it comes to building various logic. Sometimes you may need to create a flag columns to identify each kind of transaction uniquely. So those kinds of things also we'll be learning. Next thing is how you can write a good formula. So we'll be learning in detail. This is very important thing because creating a formula will helps you to get a clear understanding of logics, how you can build logics. So this also we'll learn here, like how you can write various kinds of formulas using string functions, numeric functions, what are the basic arithmetic functions. All these things we'll be learning. 1 second. So once we are done with our core concepts, we'll be moving into our advanced concepts starting from week 3. So advanced concepts will be covering a more advanced tools, like we have multi-field tool, multi-row formula tools. So these are the advanced tools which you use to perform advanced data processing. Also, we'll be learning about macros. So I think you already knew about the word macro, right? Do you know macros in Excel?
Yes.
Yeah. So can you tell me like how a macro can help you, or what is the purpose of a macro?
Mm, I'm not sure about Excel, but like in Alteryx, like macros, it is a set of tools
Mhm.
we prepared for some. If we used to use on a day basis on the workflow, then we can use that macro. It is a set of tools which perform certain actions. So we can use those macros in our main workflow.
Yes, correct. So macros are something which you build out of tools. So if you have a process which you use or performs repetitively, right, you can actually create a macro out of it. So that macro is something reusable. You don't need to do that entire process from the scratch. So we have various kinds of macros in Alteryx, like standard macro, batch macro, and iterative macro. So in our course, we'll be covering standard macro and batch macro. Next is workflow documentation. See, documentation is actually an important step in any of the projects, right? Especially when it comes to Alteryx, you have a lot of tools which you use to build your workflow. So when you give, or even if you try to use the workflow which you only build after certain point of time, right? You will not be quite sure how you build the workflow, what was the logics behind each tools, right? So in order to have a cleaner workflow, we will be learning how you can organize your workflow, how you can document your workflow in a nice way so that even if you refer your workflow in future, you will have a clear understanding. And also, if you want to share this workflow within your teams or colleagues, they should be also knowing how you build this workflow, right? And how it works, or how your workflow needs to be run. So all these kinds of things can be documented within Alteryx itself. That's the beauty of Alteryx. You have a lot of tools that enables you to create this documentation. And we'll be learning all these steps, like how you can use a command tool. What is a tool container? So tool container is something which you can use to orchestrate your workflow. That means, suppose you have a data process where one step needs to be executed, and after that only the other step needs to be executed. So these kinds of orchestration you can actually you can actually enable using tool container. So we'll be covering that also. Then we have something called tool annotation, how you can rename a tool, how you can use the string renaming for documentation. So these steps also will be covering under workflow documentation. The next advanced topic is the Alteryx analytical apps. So all of you might have heard this term app, right? Because we have a lot of apps in our mobile as well, right? So apps in Alteryx is, let's assume you want to share an Alteryx workflow with a business user. So what is the specialty of business user? He might not be a technical person. He might not have an understanding of Alteryx, right? So what we will do is, once we have a process, we will create a workflow out of it. And once that workflow is tested, if everything is fine, we will transform or will convert that workflow into an analytical application. So analytical app is actually a combination of workflow and a user interface. So behind the scenes, it is a workflow. Okay. But in the front end, you'll be having a UI. So a business user can use your workflow without knowing the nitty-gritties of your workflow. So he can easily configure your workflow by using the user interface. So that is an Alteryx analytical app. So we'll be learning about how you can create an analytical app from your workflow. So mainly we will be covering the interface tool, which will be helping you to build an app. So these are the various interface tool like list box, numeric up down, radio button, file browse, action tools, control parameters. So these kinds of interface tool helps you to build the app. So we'll be learning all these steps. And post that, we'll be also helping you to crack the Alteryx designer certification exams, because certification is something helps you to showcase your skills when it comes to an interview, or it can add a lot of value into your profile as well. Okay. And also I'll provide the lecture notes after each session, which can help you to refer in your future or throughout your learning journey. And also, I will be sharing the Alteryx best practices that we used to follow in the industry as an Alteryx developer. Yeah. So before moving to the next portion, I would like to know if you have any questions, please jot down regarding the course outlines, which I already discussed. If you have any questions, yeah, please go on.
Mm, yes, I have a question. Hello.
Hello again. Yeah, yeah, go on. I can hear you.
So basically, my main motive is to like doing this course. I wanted to know much more on the advanced side
Okay.
because I know the things like the content which you have shown to us, like
Mm-hmm.
for the week one and week two.
Mm-hmm.
I know quite of things from
Okay.
that because I wanted to cover on this macros side much more. Like I need to know the things on the macro side and the analytical apps and
Absolutely.
something from the developer palette also, which I think here it is not mentioned. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, on the developer and somewhat from the reporting palette also.
Okay.
So and some from the uh, spatial tool. There are some spatial tool
Yes,
also,
special tools.
which,
Correct. Correct.
yeah, which I have not worked yet, but
Mm-hmm.
I would love to know something from that also. So
Mm-hmm.
my key concept, like what I wanted to know, these three, four things, and how I can leverage this knowledge into the project. Like if I suppose I know these things,
Mm-hmm.
macros and analytical apps. So from this app, I need from this knowledge, I wanted to generate some project so that I can um, leverage that project into my CV and I can showcase um, to while switching the company, I can showcase that I know the advanced thing because my main focus would be the advanced side moreover.
Okay, got it, got it. Yeah, I
Yeah,
got it again. So
much
my
more
current,
on the yeah,
yeah, go on, go on.
much more on the macros, like a little bit deep dive on the macro side. What all, like as you mentioned, those three macros. So how we will use and how we can automate the things while using the macros, like that all things I wanted to know.
Okay, okay, got it, got
And
it.
from the analytical apps also, yeah.
Okay. So Agil, so the current course, right? So this course is actually designed focusing on the guys mainly who is very afresh into Alteryx space.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So that's why we are covering both basic to intermediate as well as advanced concepts. So I totally understand your case. Like you already a guy who is already working with Alteryx for the past 2 to 3 years. So your prime focus is on advanced steps that I totally got. So we can actually have a kind of, I also used to take an advanced session separately for the people like you. So if you want, you can actually enroll in that advanced session since you already know pretty good in Alteryx basics.
Yeah, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, like that will be helpful for me also, like as because in I totally agree this course is basically for the freshers one. So
Mm-hmm.
might be I will not be fit for this, but yeah, I would love to see the advanced side, like because I need to explore much more on that areas.
Yeah,
Um,
sure.
so yeah.
Yep. So in this course also, I'm covering actually the macro parts and analytical apps as well. But this is a mix actually, because if you want to work more on macros and apps, right, you should have a clear-cut idea of all the basic concepts and tools. Because
Yes,
the macros and apps are enabled with the workflows as well. But to build
yes,
that workflow, you should have a clear understanding of all the basic steps.
yes, yes. Yeah.
Yes. Okay then. So for that, we'll see separately, Agil. Okay.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So
Okay.
coming to this, we are actually covering these tools primarily in this course. So we have sections like input outputs where you will get the data which can help you to load your data and take your output out of your flow. And then we'll be covering the preparation tools which help you to prepare your data, to cleanse your data, and we also have the data blending tools which comes under join like union, join, find and replace tool, append tools. Also we'll be covering the transform tools like cross tab, then transpose, summarize, and we also will be covering the parse tools like datetime parse and text to columns. Okay, so coming to the certifications, as I told, right? So certifications is something which helps you to showcase that, okay, you are actually skilled in Alteryx. Alteryx is actually offering this certification on free of cost. So you can actually get started with Alteryx Foundation Micro Credential, which is actually a 1 hour exam. 40 questions will be there. And you can easily crack it if you have a basic understanding of Alteryx. So in the foundation, they will test your basic knowledge about Alteryx, and the questions will be mostly theoretical. When it comes to the L2 level, this is L1 and L2 is the designer core exam. So designer core, they will be testing your fundamental understanding of Alteryx as well as the practicality or how good you can apply your skills in Alteryx. So that exam can contain practical questions. So they will be giving you a real data sets and they will ask you to solve that problem based on the data set. So this is the approach. You need to download the data into your system and you need to use your Alteryx in real and you need to build a workflow to solve that question and to arrive at the solution or the answer. So this exam have both theoretical as well as practical questions. And one good thing about this exam is recently, like past 1 year before, they have actually introduced this desire core in 4 modules. So you can actually crack each module separately and you will be automatically eligible for the desire core. For example, just look at here. This is called desire core micro credential. So you can actually attempt this desire core in each individual micro credential. So each of this exam will last for 30 or 45 minutes. So if you don't have a time to sit for entire 2.5 hours in one go, you can even take it as 4 modules. So if you crack each of these modules, then automatically you will be awarded with the designer core certification. Is this clear?
Yeah.
Yeah. Then comes the designer advance. So if you are pretty confident with your basic steps and if you are well aware of how a macro works and if you can build a macro and apps, then Alteryx Design Advanced is for you. So it's a 2 hour exam with 40 questions. So this is something shows that okay, you are a intermediate level or advanced level Alteryx user. So that's all about the certification. Do you have any doubts in certification? Just let me know. We can clear it out here. Prithvi, any questions?
I'm good.
Okay, okay. Great, great. Okay, fine. Okay, so let's move on to the next. Yeah. So finally, we are here. Let's try to build our first workflow in Alteryx. Give me a second. Yes. Yeah. So we are opening the Alteryx designer interface. So Alteryx have actually different flavors of products. So one is the product which we install in our system and use. So that is called Alteryx Designer Desktop. We are actually going to learn that. And Alteryx have also a cloud version which is called Alteryx Cloud, where this same kind of functionality, or I can call it a similar kind of functionality, is there, but it's hosted in cloud. So you don't need to install anything. Okay, but most of the organization is actually using the designer desktop. Okay, are you able to see my screen?
Yes.
Yes, yes, you can see my interface, right?
No, it's a PPT, I think.
Okay, is it PPT? 1 second. Sorry, let me just change that. Okay, give me a second. Screen sharing. How about now?
Yes.
You can see my screen, right?
Yeah.
Okay, great. So yeah, so this is our Alteryx designer interface. Okay, so you are able to see a different kinds of windows here, right? Okay, let me walk you through each kind of sections. So the first thing is the tool palette. So you can see a lot of tools here, right? Like we saw in our presentation. So this is actually called tool palette. Yes. So here you can see that there is a section called in out, and we have preparation, join, parse. So these are the different tool categories. So each tool is actually classified based on its functionality. So you can see that each have a color coding. For input tools, you have green. For preparation, we have blue. Then we have purple for data blending tools like join. Then we have a different kind of green for parse tools. Then we have transform. So these are actually called tools. So each tool have different categories, and this is called tool palette, from where you can get each tool. Now you have a white space here. So this is called workflow canvas, where you will actually create your workflow by connecting each of your tools. Okay. Then what all things you are seeing here, right? This window is called results window, where it will show you or displays the result. Even if you have any errors, right, it will be popping up here. Now we have something called workflow configuration window here. So this is called workflow configuration window. If you click anywhere on the canvas, this will works as a workflow configuration window, which can help you to configure your workflow. But if you bring some tools here, then you can call it as a tool configuration window, which help you to configure the tool. So let's try to build a simple workflow so you'll understand more. Okay. So for that, I am trying to bring a data set. So let me just take one data set here. Yeah, I'm going to bring a data here. Okay. Yeah. So see, I'm having a data called a customer CSV. I'm just take P. Okay. So suppose I want to bring a data into my workflow, right? Because the data is the starting point. So my first question, how we can bring the data into my workflow so that I can start building the data process? Which tool I need to use? Any suggestions, Prithvi? We need to use which tool? We need to use a tool from the input output category, right? Because the purpose of this tool is to bring the data into your workflow and to take your data out of the workflow, right? So what I need to do is first I need to get an input data tool. So how I can take a tool? You can just hover your mouse pointer here. You can just click and you can actually drag it here. So let me just see. Click on your tool, drag it and drop it here. So this is how you bring a tool from your tool palette to the canvas. Okay. Now you have your data here, right? So now you have the input tool here. So what is the next step? Whenever you bring a tool, right? The next step is to configure the tool. So then only it will work properly. So here, what we need to do, now we have the tool here, but we don't have the data location. So you need to point out the data location. So I'm just clicking on this setup connection. Click on files. You need to select where exactly your file is present in your system. So I have kept my file in the downloads. Let me just go to downloads and pick it. So this is my file. You can just click open. Okay. So now you have your data here, right? So just see here in the left side, you are able to see a preview of your data. So this part, if you see here, yes, you are able to see some preview, right? So this is a preview of your data. First, the 100 records will be displayed here. So you can first get a view of your data. Okay, this is how your data will look like, right? Next, whenever you bring a data, you can actually run this tool so that you can see your output in the results window. So how to run your data, or how to load your data into the tool. So that's why we have a run tool here, run option. So just click on this run option. Yes. So once your workflow is run, you will get a pop-up like this. See, finish running in 1.2 seconds. So it took around 1.2 seconds to run this data. Fine. Now you see, you have your data displayed in this window. So that's why we call it as results window. So in the results window, you'll get a lot of information. So the main thing is like, it will tell you it have the 12 fields. So fields means columns in Alteryx. And you have around 2,678 records. Record means what? Row. So you have these many of rows in your data. And you will get a view of your data. See, these are the columns: customer ID, store number, customer segment. So these are the different columns available in your data. So now let me just tell you what I want to do with my data. Okay, see, I want to filter, or I want to know which is the store which is having a maximum sales, for example. So that's my idea, or how I can get that from Alteryx? That's my question. So first, that for getting that, I need to do a lot of data actions on my data. So let's see how we can do that. So I'm going to find out which store have most of the sales. Okay, fine. So let's get started. Now I have loaded the data. So once you load the data, you have a configuration window here. So this configuration window helps you to configure the tool which you have brought here. So which is the tool you brought here? Input tool, right? So you can actually limit your input. See, there is something called record limit. So if I put a 2 here, what happens? Only the first 2 records will be loaded here. So I'm just trying to run. And if you see here, you are now getting only 2. Why? Because you have configured such a way that it should take only the 2 records. So that's how you configure your tool. So this is called configuration window. Now, next step is we want to know which store have maximum number of customers, right? So for that, I need to find out the count of customers in each stores, right? So for that, we have something called a summarize tool. So that summarize tool is actually available in the transform section. So how to bring the tool? You just need to click it, drag it, and drop it. Okay. Now, what is the next step? You need to connect your tools together. So then only they can work in sync. So how you can connect tools each other? If you zoom it here, right, you can get an anchor. So this is called output anchor. So for a input tool, it have only the output anchor. But when it comes to other tools, right, it will have both anchors like input and output anchor. So we can just connect these anchors together and just clicking on this. So a line will be originating. I can connect it here. So both of these tools are connected. What is the next step? The next step is you need to configure this tool. Okay, so let's see how we can configure. You can click on this tool. So what was my idea? My idea is to find out the count of customer for each stores. Okay, so how I can do that? Let me just take my store number. See, you have the store number here. You can click on add. I'm taking this column store number as group by. So if I try to run, what I will get? I'll get a unique list of store number in my data. See, these are the different stores available in my data. Okay. After that, what I would like to know, I would like to know how many customers have made a purchase in each store. So what I need to do, I can take a count of the customer IDs, right? So just click on customer ID. Then you can take a count, and I'm just running it. Okay, so now see what you are getting. You are getting each stores and you are getting a count of customers available or customers who made a purchase from that store. Okay, now what is the next step? I want to find out which is the maximum count. Okay, so that I can tag that store, right? So for that, what I need to do? I need to perform sorting. So how can I sort? So there is a dedicated tool to perform the sort. So that is called sort tool. I can show you another way to search a tool. So you can see a search bar here, right? So this is called the global search bar. You can simply click here and search for a tool, sort. See, a tool is getting popped up here. You just need to simply drag and drop here. So instead of dropping anywhere and connecting it manually, you can bring this tool to the vicinity of the existing tool. You can see some dotted line, right? Which means that automatically a connection will get established. Now you have the sort tool. So what is the next step? Whenever you bring a tool, the next step is to configure. So let's configure the tool. I need to sort the column count in descending. Okay. And once I'm done with my configuration, what is the next step? to sort your data. Now the data is sitting here. So to perform a sorting action, your data has to be passed through this tool. How you can do it? By clicking run. So if you click run, what happens is your data will start flowing from this tool to the next tool. Okay. Now, if you click on this tool, right, you can see what change has happened to your tool. What change has happened to your data. So we discussed regarding the transparency. Wherever your data is getting changed, right, you can see or you can view the data here. So if you see here what happened, your data is already sorted based on the count. So now if you see, this is the highest count, 357. Suppose I would like to know what are the top 5 stores. So I need to pick the top 5 items from here. So how I can pick that? For now, I have all the stores, but I just need the top 5 stores. So for that, I can use a tool called sample tool. So that sample tool helps you to sample out your transaction. So that tool is actually belonging to the preparation category. You can see that tool over here. Yeah, this is the tool, sample tool. So either you can bring it directly from your tool palette by simply dragging and dropping, or you can actually search it here and bring it from here. So this is the sample tool. So what sample tool does is you can actually mention first n rows is needed. So here, how many rows I want? The top n rows. So you can choose this option, first n, and you can mention the value of n. N is equal to 5. So this will give me the top 5 rows. I'm just running. So see the difference, right? See in the input how many rows you are having? You are having 10 rows. Now, if I am running this, see, previously I clicked on the input anchor. That's why I was getting 10, because this is the data which is actually flowing into this tool. But after performing the sampling, I'm just clicking on the output anchor. So see how many you are getting, only the 5 records. Now you have your data here. What is the next step? Let's assume you want to share this results or report with your client. Then for that purpose, you need to create a report out of it, right? So how you can take this data into a file? For that, you need to use the output data tool. So I'm just going to the in-out tool palette, and I can see, okay, this is my output data. Just bring this output data tool, connect it. Now you need to set up or configure this tool. So I'm just clicking on setup connection and choosing a location. So I'm trying to save it in my desktop. I'm just giving my file a name. So this is called result, or I'm just giving my analysis output. So this is a name which I'm giving, and which format you want to save, whether you want in Excel, CSV, text, that you can choose. So for now, I'm just putting it as Excel only. Just click on save. And it will ask you to give a sheet name. So I'm just putting a sheet name as uh, top 5 stores as my sheet name. After that, you can just click OK. Now everything is done, but still the file is not generated. Why? Can you tell me why the file is not generated? Because we have configured our tool, but we have not ran it, right? So you need to execute your workflow. So for that, I can just click run. So now what happens is, previously your data was sitting here. Now it started flowing to your output data tool, and your output has been generated. Okay, let's see how the output will look like. So for that, in the results window itself, you will get a section called file. This is an easier way. It will show you what are the different outputs and inputs. So input is already here, which you have loaded, and output is something which just generated. So you just need to click on output. So I'm just clicking here. So the output will be opening soon. Okay, or we can even just refer our desktop. See, analysis output, which is just generated 833. So I'm just trying to open this Excel. Might be because we just close some existing files. Yeah, see, you are able to see my output, which we just generated, right? You have the file name analysis output. The sheet name is top 5 stores, and this is the output we just got from our Alteryx workflow. Okay, so I think I was able to give you a glance of how the Alteryx will look like. Now, next question, how I can call this as an automation solution, right? See, now I have created a set of tools and I connected it together. This is my data process. Okay, and this is what you call as Alteryx workflow. So the next step will be saving this workflow. I'm just trying to save as, I'm just trying to save this workflow in my desktop, and I'm giving a name here. So I'm just giving a name like top 5 stores analysis. Okay, and I'm just saving it. Okay, and I'm just trying to close. Let's assume that in next month also you are getting the same request from the client to do an analysis. This is a simple example, right? You can have a much complex version of this kind of analysis, but I'm trying to give you an example. Let's assume that next month you are getting a same kind of request to perform an analysis on your data. So think about this scenario. If you want to do this in Alteryx, or sorry, if you want to do this in Excel or in any other way, what you need to do? You have to perform all these kinds of tasks from the scratch. Am I right? Right. You need to bring the data, you need to clean your data, you need to do the data aggregation, you need to do that sampling, sorting, everything you need to do from the scratch. But how Alteryx can help you to automate the tasks? Because now you have defined your data process, right? And based on that, you have actually created a workflow. So next time what you need to do is you just need to search for workflow. See, this is your workflow. We have already created a workflow for that process, right? So next time you will not be creating or developing it from the scratch. Rather that you will be just opening that existing workflow. So this workflow is actually your automation solution. So what you will do next time is you will simply click on this input tool and change the data. You will load it with the latest data and you can simply click run. So what happens? You will have the latest analysis for the latest month's data. Got it? Any questions? Yeah. So yeah, please just have your questions. If you have any questions, please jot down. Prithvi, Akhil, anything regarding the Alteryx workflow which we developed.
Thing from my side. And
Yep. What about Priti? Any questions?
No, Jamal, I'm good.
Okay, okay, okay. Yeah, so that's all from my side, guys. So if you have any questions, if you're interested to join my sessions, please let me know. Okay, you can actually connect with the HKR guys. So they will help you to enroll for this course. Yep, so that's all. Thanks for joining the session. We'll see you soon in the upcoming trainings. Okay,
okay.
then.
Yeah.
Yep, yeah, go
Uh,
on. Go on.
yes. From my side, like that is one thing which I have highlighted. So do
Okay.
let me know, like, if it's if is there any other thing in Alteryx Advanced like you are starting, so
Mm.
that will be great. Like on that session, I will love to join. Like,
Yeah, yeah, sure, sure, sure. Yeah. So Akhil, as you told, we do have a advanced focus course for the guys like you. So let me share you the details through HKR guys. So HKR will be connecting you regarding this.
mhm. Okay,
Okay, sounds good.
okay, yeah,
Okay. Yep. Yeah, that's all. Akhil, thank you.
thank you. Yeah,
Yeah, bye.
bye bye.